Here's your Storm Track 7 forecast.
Good afternoon, Eastern Iowa. I'm Storm Track 7 meteorologist Andy Cassidy. For today, it's going to be a very pleasant day. You've already been experiencing high temperatures will be in the low to mid 40s with clouds building in from west to east. We'll see some sunshine at least through the early afternoon hours, which will help melt off that snow. Winds much lighter than yesterday, around 5 to 10. That's really an understatement. It is incredibly quiet compared to yesterday. But those clouds building in, that is going to lead to some more snow later tonight into Friday morning especially. So that's why we have a Storm Track 7 yellow alert day, because that accumulating snow could impact our travel during the Friday morning commute. It is going to be a wet, slushy snow, but if any of that freezes, that's where we could see things get pretty slick. The good news with this is winds stay light, maybe up to 15 miles per hour at most. So blowing snow, there could obviously be some reduction of visibility with any falling snow, but blowing snow is not expected to be an issue. Now, the heaviest of the snow is going to be out in western and central portions of the state, kind of this thin band here, and that's why there's a winter weather advisory there. But locally in eastern Iowa, Grundy and Tama County is highlighted here, and this is where we could see the heaviest of the snow, maybe up to 4 inches of snowfall. Generally speaking, there'll be about 1 to 3. But we will show you that snow map later. It's officially through 9 p.m. tonight into 6 p.m. Friday, but I don't think we'll see any snow here until about midnight, and that snow will taper off after the noon hour. It's just until 6 p.m. because that's where we think maybe we could still see some slick conditions until then. But I do think after the noon hour, roads will improve, especially with temperatures above freezing and that snow tapering off. So I'll show you that here on Future Track. Clouds will build in from west to east throughout the afternoon hours. And then here's that rain, 10 o'clock on our far southwestern edge, but it stays as rain. It's not until after midnight that snow starts to move in and transition from rain to snow. And here's 7 a.m. You notice kind of the main band is going to be along Highway 20 down to I-80. Could see a little bit of rain mixing in there south of I-80 as well. And then very isolated snow, especially north of Highway 18, where you might see a trace at best. Then through the noon hour here, again, you're noticing that main band of snow kind of in between the Highway 20 and then now more Highway 30. But then after noon, that does start to taper off, and we might see a little bit more rain in the afternoon south of I-80. Then it clears out by 6 o'clock, and then we'll have a pretty quiet Friday night. In terms of snowfall totals, so this is what we're thinking right now. Looks like that light blue here, so kind of through Oelwein, just north of Dubuque, that's where we could see 1 to 3. And if you're on the outer edges of this is where it's more towards the 1. If you're in the middle and especially west, that's where we think the heavier snow is going to be. That's more towards the 3. Grundy and Tama could be closer to 4. The farther east you go, it looks like moisture could taper off a little bit, so maybe more along the 1-inch line for our far eastern areas. For southern areas, I think just the rain is going to cut into a little bit of that snowfall, so it could be on the lower end there. Then the farther north you go, it looks like pretty isolated. And for Winneshiek and Alameda County, I don't know if we'll see any snowfall at all, just because it does look like it's going to stay pretty limited to our central areas. The big difference, and I mean big difference with this compared to last time, is the winds. We're not going to see those gusts at 50, close to 60 miles an hour. And in fact, sustained winds as it starts will be 5 miles per hour at best. And those winds really don't pick up that much until maybe the afternoon. They'll be about 5 to 15. But even then, with how heavy the snow is, I don't think blowing snow is an issue. Visibility could be reduced as that snow falls. But as I mentioned, blowing snow should not be an issue, and this will be much needed because of how heavy that wind was last time. But again, still could see some slick roads out there, especially during that Friday morning commute. As it falls through the overnight hours, it could stick and then freeze a little bit. So to recap here tonight, low temperatures in the upper 20s and low 30s. That rain transitioning to snow from west to east with a light southwest wind. Then during the day tomorrow, high temperatures are going to be a little bit on the kind of bizarre side. Our northern areas, just because of the lack of snow, especially during the afternoon, could actually be our warm spot during the day. And then our southern areas where that rain and snow is could be a little bit cooler in the mid 30s, but pretty moderate kind of no matter where you are in eastern Iowa. Again, that means that snow is going to be a little bit wet and heavy if you have to shovel it. Your city-by-city forecast for Waterloo, Dubuque, Cedar Rapids, and Iowa City. Then Saturday, we're back to very nice and comfortable conditions. Winds are light. We'll see mostly sunny skies. And then Sunday morning at 2 a.m., daylight saving time does start. So yes, we'll lose an hour of sleep, but of an hour later of sunsets. Sunday looks gorgeous, highs in the 50s. Then Monday, jumping up to the 60s, getting close to 70 on Tuesday. Then for Wednesday, maybe a light rain chance. I want to emphasize light. Doesn't look like too much as of now. Then into late next week, a little bit of a stronger system moves in. Maybe some thunderstorms on Friday. Then into the following weekend, a little bit cooler with a couple of rain chances.